Are criminals also victims?
Yes. Yes. In the beginning of the question, there was something along the lines of how does this not infuriate you?
Yes.
And at face value, when you receive the case file and you start reading this person did this, and this, automatically, chances are you'd go in defense and you say, how on earth am I going to sit in front of this person and face this person? But after less than 5 minutes, the second that you start learning the life history of the person, you would realize that at some point in time, that person was a child or a victim themselves who unfortunately would not have found any support or any means of resolving the trauma they would have endured. And unfortunately, and then that was channeled through this bad behavior. So I can't say that all of them are victims, but most of them will be.
To me, I might be going out of line here because it's not my exactly my field and my area. But I would say if they are not victims directly, they are victims of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you must be caught up in an entanglement between your sense of self. I think you're a victim of yourself to a certain extent.
Yes, but when we say someone is a victim of themselves, people are more likely to say affarijiet out or their fault. So they're making a victim of themselves. They do whatever.
No, it's not from a self-victimizing point of view, but they might have not been. They might not have been. They might not have had the privilege of knowing anything better, and they, through an unfortunate series of events, they didn't learn or exposed to a certain level of morality.
Yes, but for me, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are victims of themselves. For me, that they are victims of society. Because it was the society's responsibility to, especially when it comes, as you know, I work with children. If you have a child who has been through horrendous experiences of adversity, I can't expect the child to build the resilience without giving them the tools to build the resilience. So, and then I can't expect the child when they grow up not to mess up and not to engage in certain behaviors if I wouldn't have given them the opportunity to at least start differentiating between right and wrong. So, but I do agree with you to some
I
extent.
see the victimized because when they commit the crime and they're exposed to therapy and they're exposed to many people telling them what should should do, at that point it's a bit too late. So they become victims of themselves because they are entrapped in a system which is very hard for them to get out of it.
For sure, but it shouldn't have been too late in the first place.
Yes, ideally, yes.